Thank you. And I want to thank everyone for inviting us to join your user group today. It's always such a pleasure having the opportunity to chat with you all and to share what we're building out. So thank you again. Before I dive in, I have everyone's favorite slide. I do want to note that we are discussing forward-looking trends and products in this session. I want to remind you to please base purchasing decisions on what's available today. And I specifically want to call out that everything that we're going to talk about today is coming to APAC early next year. So, we're really excited to give you all a sneak preview of what we've been working on so that when it is available in ANZ, you are all the first to know and you can hit the ground running with this information. Also, I want to thank you all for, being our customers, being our trusted and valued partners. We're really just grateful that you're here to learn with us today. So Tammy did a great round of introductions, but for those of you who don't know me, I'm Ruth Bolster. I'm a product marketing senior lead at Salesforce. I work on both account engagement and marketing cloud growth and advanced editions. We have Rena Parekh and Rob Phillips from our marketing cloud growth and advanced product team here today. So I don't know, Rena and Rob, if you want to quickly say hi.
Sure. Yeah, Rena Parekh. I am a product manager on Marketing Cloud Growth and Advanced team, as Ruth mentioned, formerly account engagement. So very familiar with the world you're all coming from and very happy to join today.
Hey everyone, Rob Phillips, also product manager, also coming from a history of working on account engagement. And these days I am focused specifically around how marketing and data cloud play nicely together. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So I'm a regular Lisa Simpson, so of course I have probably more slides than we have time for today. So what we'll do, I think, is I'm going to just very quickly give an overview of Marketing Cloud Growth and Advanced Edition, just what it is, how we're positioning it. And then I want to focus on what's new in account engagement. So Tammy did a wonderful job reading out the most recent release, but I specifically want to focus in on like the permission set licenses and how account engagement customers are to be able to access growth and advanced edition functionality in their account engagement instance. As Tammy mentioned, this is available to EMEA and LATAM customers this week, and then it's going to be coming to APAC early next year. So again, really excited to give you this info so you can hit the ground running with it. And then from there, we're just going to quickly go through some of the new features and functionality in Growth and Advanced Edition that came out. And this is a good way to kind of like tee up the demo that Rena is going to do. And then, of course, we'll have time for Q&A. So just very quickly, as you know, at Dreamforce, we announced the launch of Advanced Edition. So it's a really exciting time for us at Salesforce, really exciting time to be part of Marketing Cloud and to be a Marketing Cloud customer. So very quickly, I'm just going to show how we're teeing up Marketing Cloud Growth and Advanced Editions, and then I'm going to just kind of give a quick overview of what the product is and what the value props are. So the one thing I want to make abundantly clear, though, is that Advanced Edition is not a new product. It's the same product as Growth Edition, it just has more functionality. So it's the higher tier of the same thing. So I'm just going to quickly walk through the narrative. You know that customers want companies that meet them where they are. They want experiences that are tailored to their wants and needs, and they want those interactions to be consistent across departments and channels. And this is particularly difficult for a lot of our small businesses. And the reason being is that small businesses often struggle to get that single view of the customer. So especially with small businesses, they might have marketing, sales, service, and commerce teams. They might be using different platforms. They might be on different point solutions. And it makes it difficult for them not to just to understand who their customer is, but also to leverage new technologies as they're being built out that make it easier to personalize customer interactions and also save time using AI. Because if your data is in a whole bunch of different places, it's really difficult to actually activate that data. So this is where Marketing Cloud Growth and Advanced Editions can come in. So Marketing Cloud Growth and Advanced Editions are marketing automation built on Data Cloud. So it has Data Cloud as that foundation. And this creates visibility across your marketing, sales, service, and your commerce teams, and allows everyone to work together in one place. And because it has that built-in Data Cloud, small teams can organize their data from across all the touch points, marketing, sales, service, and commerce. And this helps marketers build more personalized interactions with customers and also tie those efforts back to revenue. Again, you have that strong data foundation, so it's going to be easier to do that personalized outreach. And then, of course, it also makes it easier to leverage enterprise-grade predictive and generative AI as well. Of course, when it comes to AI, we're familiar with the phrase garbage in, garbage out. If you do not have a data foundation, your AI models are not going to give you basically outputs. So having that strong data foundation makes it easier than ever before to use the predictive AI, to use the generative AI. So again, want to just very quickly stress, Growth and Advanced Edition are the same product. Advanced Edition is just a higher tier of growth, and it comes with some additional feature functionality that Rena is going to highlight in a few minutes. It also comes with additional credits to power emails, AI requests, and additional active flows. And then, of course, regional expansion. This is something that is very top of mind for us. I mentioned before, we launched originally in AMER, and then we expanded to EMEA and LATAM this past summer. So APAC is on our list. Again, we are targeting early next year. So just continue to watch this space because we want to make sure that everyone has access to this. Another thing I just want to quickly call out that as of this past release, we actually now have an upgrade path from Starter and Pro Suite, which I'm sure you all heard a lot about, to Marketing Cloud Growth Edition. And this is really exciting because it allows our customers, like even our smallest customers, to start small and actually grow their marketing on the Salesforce platform. So even if you're like a one-person team or a two-person team, you can start with Salesforce, and then as your company expands, you can grow your marketing footprint. So we're really excited about this. And again, this is available as of the October release, which I believe is live this week. So very exciting. So with all that being said, I know a lot of you are account engagement users. So what does this mean for you, an account engagement user? So some of you are probably aware at Connections this past year, we announced that account engagement growth customers in AMER were eligible to access Marketing Cloud Growth Edition features in their account engagement instance. So again, we started very small. We started with a very small group of customers, again, account engagement growth customers only in AMER. I'm really excited to share that as of the Winter 25 release, as of this week, we're actually expanding access to all account engagement customers who are on Growth, Plus, Advanced, and Premium editions in regions where Growth Edition and Advanced Edition are available. So again, right now, AMER, EMEA, and LATAM, but next year, early next year, APAC as well. And we're doing this by providing the necessary licenses and permission sets directly in their account engagement instance. So this means you don't have to go to an outside platform in order to access all of this amazing functionality we're building out in Growth and Advanced Editions. You can access it through your account engagement instance. And I'm going to talk a little bit about like what goes into that in a second. But again, this is really exciting. The goal is to bring all of our customers along as we're building out this really exciting functionality. We want everybody to benefit, not just the net new SMB customers who are onboarding onto Growth Edition. So to unlock all of these innovations, account engagement users need the three elements that are outlined on this slide. So first, you need some sort of data cloud tenant. So Data Cloud is the foundation. I mentioned before, Growth and Advanced Editions, so they're natively built on Data Cloud. A lot of the functionality that we're building out requires Data Cloud in some way, and I'm going to talk about a couple of those features in a few minutes. So there's a couple of ways that you can get Data Cloud. Dreamforce, you might have heard that we announced Salesforce Foundations. So if you are a Sales Cloud or Service Cloud customer on EE+, you can get access to Salesforce Foundations. This gives you some Data Cloud credits. There's that Data Cloud Everywhere SKU standalone. And of course, if you just have Data Cloud, that also does the trick as well. So, okay, you get Data Cloud set up. The next thing is to activate the permission set licenses, or PSLs. So in this case, PSLs does not stand for pumpkin spice lattes. It's permission set licenses. The PMM team and the product team have a lot of fun with that. But now that you think of PSLs as pumpkin spice lattes, you're never going to forget it. I promise you that. So these are going to be automatically in the account engagement instance, but you need to turn them on. So as a an account engagement admin, all you have to do is turn it on, and we have help notes on how to do that. And of course, this is only available in existing or current account engagement editions. So legacy editions are not supported with this. From there, you need to purchase additional credits. So a lot of the functionality that we're building out is consumption-based. So if you are leveraging the functionality, you need to purchase, any additional messaging credits if you're going to send emails or SMS, or Einstein request credits as well. And then, of course, you may also need additional data cloud credits as well. So what we like to do is think about the permission set licenses as the car. We're giving you the car, but you also need to put some gas into the car, and that's where the credits come in. So how are we rolling this out? And how does the advanced launch factor into this? So I mentioned before, account engagement users will get access to all these new innovations in their existing account engagement SKUs starting in October, starting this week. And this is going to account for all of the existing Growth Edition functionality. So if you have Account Engagement Growth Edition or Plus or Advanced or Premium, you will get access to Marketing Cloud Growth Edition functionality in the regions where it's supported. Marketing Cloud Advanced Edition is launching next month in November. Once that launches in November, customers on Account Engagement Plus, Advanced Premium are going to get additional permission set licenses that correspond with some of those Advanced Edition features. So again, we're going to walk through exactly what those are in a few minutes. And then just to quickly give you my top 5 favorite features in Marketing Cloud Growth Edition that I think our account engagement customers are really going to be excited about. First and foremost, Agentforce. So we have Agentforce campaigns. This basically allows you to leverage generative AI to not just create the campaign, but also draft a campaign brief and also create a draft email as well. And you do this with one generative AI prompt. It's really powerful. It's really cool. And I'm sure Rena's going to show you in a second. We also have segment creation. So this is the same segment creation that you might be familiar with in Data Cloud. Again, what this does is it leverages generative AI. You describe the segment that you want to create into the prompt, and then the generative AI will pull that segment for you based on the keywords that you put in the prompt. And this is such a game changer for a lot of customers because we know segmentation can be really difficult. Even if you're using a marketing automation tool, just kind of doing that pick list and figuring out what fields correspond to what data points can be really tricky. So what's really great about this is it really takes the technical know-how out of the equation. If you can describe what you are trying to create using, your natural language, Einstein will be able to pull that segment for you. So it's fast, and it's also like taking the technical knowledge out of it. SMS. So we know our account engagement customers have wanted SMS for a very long time. Before, you had to go to a third party in order to enable it. With the permission set licenses, you can do SMS natively on the Salesforce platform. It's really cool. So I hope y'all are really excited about that. Then, of course, we have Salesforce Flow. This is kind of the automation engine behind Growth and Advanced Editions. If you are, a Sales Cloud user or Sales Cloud admin, you're probably very familiar with this as well. But this is what is kind of powering those automated customer journeys in Growth Edition and in Advanced Edition. And of course, with the account engagement permission set licenses, you can access this as well. And again, this allows you to create those multi-channel journeys with email and SMS. And the thing I want to call out here is that the same PMs who worked on Journey Builder and Engagement Studio are behind this idea of Flow for marketers, where we're making it a little bit more marketing friendly. And we also have permission sets so that, again, it's truly for marketers. It's not a situation where they're going to be overwhelmed with a whole bunch of admin tools. Raul, you have a question?
Yeah, I do, and I'm relatively new to the game, so apologies if this is a bit of a rookie question, but I've basically launched account engagement last week, and I also did a few Trailblazer tracks for Marketing Cloud. It seemed to me like Marketing Cloud has a few more advanced capabilities, like using AI to segment your to split your journey based on likelihood to perform specific actions, which does not yet seem to exist in account engagement. And I'm curious if that's now also being brought to account engagement or not.
Yeah, that's a great question. So it doesn't currently natively exist in account engagement. I do believe that's something we're working on for growth and advanced editions, but Rod and Rena, feel free to correct me. So that might be an avenue, but again, that is something that's still roadmap, and again, forward-looking statements apply. So
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, I think you covered it. A lot of we'll talk about today. Some of those features are coming to at least advanced edition, so we'll talk through which capabilities are available with that.
Awesome. And then, but again, quickly before I pass it over to Rena, the other thing that I want to call out here is the cross-object merge fields. I know this is something our account engagement part users have been asking for forever, and now that we have Marketing Cloud built on Data Cloud, we can finally deliver it, right? And so those of you who might not be familiar, cross-object merge fields pull from information related to a contact record. So with regular merge fields, you just can pull in like your first name. Cross-object merge fields, you can pull in information related to the product that they might be using or the name of the webinar that they attended as a merge field. So again, really powerful stuff, and it's only possible because it has that Data Cloud foundation. And this is something that our account engagement customers get access to with the permission set licenses.
Yeah, I have to celebrate that slide multiple times.
Yeah, we're really happy that we can finally bring it to you. But with that, I'm actually going to pass it over to Rena. I think she's going to go through a couple more like high level what we just released in the Winter 25 release, and then she'll get into the demo.
Yeah, if you don't mind clicking through the slides, and then I'll just take over for the demo portion.
Yeah.
Yeah, excited to walk you through what's coming in our winter release. First is rule-based dynamic content. I know many of you, especially those coming from an account engagement, are already familiar with the concept of dynamic content blocks. But this really allows marketers to increase the personalization in their email by allowing them to present the information based on known attributes. So they're able to customize not just the body content, but also the subject line, the pre-header as well. And the cool thing about this feature is you can also reuse those rules, those targeting rules, and you can apply them to future campaigns to really increase your productivity. And I think the main difference here between what you're used to in account engagement is in addition to being able to personalize based on CRM data, now you're able to personalize on any data that is available to you in Data Cloud. Next slide. We're also excited to announce content creation for SMS. This has been available for email for a couple of releases, but now we're bringing that power to SMS. So we're always looking for ways we can help marketers increase their productivity. And one of those ways is by bringing the power of generative AI to their content creation process. So you can right there in the builder where you're generating your SMS copy, you can launch Einstein, and Einstein will present you with a couple of different iterations for your message. And of course, the marketer is still in full control. You can give a thumbs up, thumbs down. If you don't really like what's being presented, you can still make your own edits. So over time, you can really train Einstein to provide better output for you. We're also excited to announce opportunity influence. So we all know that as marketers, it's really important for us to be able to have a seat at that revenue table and prove what marketing's impact is on your bottom line. And opportunity influence enables marketers to do that by allowing them to take advantage of first touch and last touch attribution models. So you can view how your campaign engagement is influencing sales opportunities. Next. We're also excited to announce Path Experiment. This is available in our advanced edition. And this allows marketers to really optimize their flows over time by allowing them to test out different variations of things. So you can do everything from testing out using different channels, swapping out your messaging copy, perhaps tweaking the cadence at which you're sending out these messages. And you're able to randomly assign individuals to those different paths to make sure you get really unbiased results. So you can add up to 10 variations or 10 path experiments within a single journey. So rather than having to duplicate and create a lot of different flows, you can do that experimentation all in one place and over time optimize for the best results. We're also really excited to announce unified conversations for SMS. And with this feature, brands can now deliver a really cohesive experience across their departments. So traditionally, you might have one SMS number services uses to send out notifications and the different number that marketing is using. Now, marketing and service teams can use a single SMS number to engage in two-way conversations with their customers across the entire customer lifecycle. So customers can now do everything from responding to a promotional messages to carrying out self-service transactions with a chatbot or perhaps connecting with a service agent, all within the same thread. So it actually feels like it's the same brand that's engaging you. We're also excited to announce Einstein engagement scoring with our advanced edition. And so what this allows you to do is understand and predict how likely subscribers are to engage with your messages. And then you can do something with that data, like create a segment based off of that. You can also apply this to decision splits and flows. I think that's what you were referring to earlier. So we're really excited to bring that functionality to our advanced edition as well. One of the most common challenges we hear from our marketing customers is they don't know the right sweet spot of the number of messages to send to somebody, to send to their subscribers. And the reality is that looks different for each individual. Somebody who's really engaged with your brand might be willing to receive more messages from you versus somebody else. And engagement frequency really takes the guesswork out of that by providing you with suggestions on an optimal range. And you can even do something like add it as a decision split in a flow. So you can suppress sending certain messages to those that may have already reached their threshold, and then send it to those who are more likely to engage. Next. Oh, I think that's everything. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly move into a demo. I know we have limited time, so I might skip a couple of things that I was originally going to show. Just let me know once you can see my screen. Can you see it?
We can see it now, Rena.
Okay, awesome. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly touch on setup here. So if you just go to the top, you can open your setup for your current app. And we've done a lot of work over the last few releases. Luckily, you all haven't had to worry about this or go through setup. But we've done a lot of work to really streamline process. And I know that there's a lot of hesitation around like, what is the list of setting up Data Cloud going to be? So I just want to show you some of the work we put into that. So I'm going to go into basic settings here. It is not loading. There we go. And then we're going to go here to data. And so what we've done is simplified what was previously probably about 100 clicks into one click. So with one click, you can install all the required data kits, as well as and deploy any data streams that are required to get your marketing going. So one thing to know is, of course, you get access with Marketing Cloud Growth in advance to full Data Cloud, but if all you want to do is get your marketing up and running, we've really streamlined that process for you. So you can just come here and do that. I'm also going to quickly just touch on, I'm just going to show you where you can go to do this since we're running low on time, but Einstein engagement frequency and scoring, which we just discussed, are also available here under setup. They do need to be enabled here, but you can take advantage of those features here under setup as well. Is there a hand?
No, it's just a comment. And yeah, Robert's made a very valid point. I was going to say it at the end. What Salesforce have done, which is great, is since the birth of Data Cloud, have realized that they can create little packages for different Data Cloud things. And so what Rena just showed you on the marketing side is almost like a Data Cloud marketing package that you just set it up rather than spending hours and hours trying to do the setup, which is amazing from what it was when it all first happened. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. All right. So with that, I'm going to just walk through our home experience. So with the winter release, Now, any new marketing users are able to access guidance directly here from the home. And this just calls out some prerequisites that are required to get your campaigns going. So you can keep track of which tasks you've already completed, which ones are outstanding, and you can pick up where you left off. In addition to that, you can access some great resources here on the home. And then for those who have already started launching a few campaigns, you can see your upcoming scheduled flows called out right here, anything that's recently been activated. And you can also access your recent marketing activity. So it's really easy to get back to campaigns, content records, or segments that you were previously working on directly from here. Another exciting addition is you can directly launch that campaign agent we were discussing directly from the home just by clicking this Draft with Einstein button. And as you'll see here, my Einstein assistant is here. And what it's doing is it's prompting me to put in an objective for my marketing campaign. So here I'm going to say I want to promote a new product launch at an in-person event. And I'm going to submit that. And what Einstein is working on is it's working on generating a brief for me. And a brief is something that will really just help you with your planning for your different campaigns. It'll outline a description of what the goal of your campaign is, what the target segment is, what the key message is. And this can be related back to your campaign, which is really helpful in providing some historical context. So when you're looking at a campaign 6 months later, you can kind of revisit what the brief objectives were. So you can give Einstein some feedback on whether you like this brief or not and continue tweaking it until you're happy with it. But I'm going to go ahead and just type confirm here. And then Einstein's going to go ahead and create that brief for me, provide me with that brief preview. I'm going to confirm again. And once I do that, Einstein's going to ask me whether I want to proceed with creating a campaign that's based on that brief. I'm going to go ahead and confirm that as well. And once I do that, it's going to provide me with a preview of that campaign directly from this experience. So I can see the campaign name. I can see that it's going to generate a flow for me. In this instance, it's just a single email send flow. It's going to provide me with a preview of some of the content, like the subject line, the pre-header, the paragraph. And again, you can continue to give Einstein that feedback directly here from that panel. But if I'm happy with that, then I'll also confirm this. And as soon as I do that, Einstein will get to work. And something that would have taken me probably upwards of half an hour to do has just taken me a couple of minutes just by conversing here in natural language with this assistant. So, so it's gone ahead and it's created a campaign for me and it's linked it to the brief that I also generated. So I'm going to go ahead and click into this campaign. And I'm going to go ahead and dismiss this now. So again, you can see here that it's generated the flow for me. It's also generated some copy. I can go ahead and apply a segment here as well. And I can also tweak the scheduling of that email as well directly from here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and edit some of this content because it's a good start, but I want to make a couple of changes. And that's going to launch me into questions.
So while you're waiting for that, Rena, sorry to interrupt. I guess for everyone, I spoke about the CMS assets moving across. One of the things you might have looked at is how do I get my brand and my images and everything into my AI created emails. There's a whole setup when you set it up around adding your brand, your logos and everything in. So that's why that's important to kind of put together.
Definitely. Thanks for calling that out. All right, so here I can see that now my subject line and pre-header are easily accessible in this building experience. And I can also see now this new option to add my dynamic content here. So I'm going to click on this and add new variation. And it's going to pop me into this experience where I can start building out some rules for the variations of my dynamic content. In this case, I'm just going to do something simple like do it based on country. and have where all conditions are met. And I'm going to base this off of the residence country and say USA. Go ahead and save that. And once it saves that variation, it'll take me back to the builder. And I can also create a different default, but for this particular variation, let's say I want to replace the header image at the top. I know all my residents in the US probably want to see something about puppies and fall, so I'm going to go ahead and add that. And now I can toggle back and forth between the different variations. So you'll see the default version, which is see the logo, whereas those that meet the country rules would see a different logo. So I can preview that here, right here in the builder. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And then I'm going to go back to that campaign experience. And now I'm going to open up my flow. You can take a look at a couple of the things that have come out in this release. So you can do that here directly from the campaign record. And once that opens up, I know there's also probably been a little hesitation, at least I've heard this from some partners and customers around Salesforce Flow for marketers, just because it was traditionally designed as a marketing tool, but we've made a lot of great enhancements to really tailor the experience to marketers. And one of those things here is providing you with this panel here that tells you right away some of the things that you would need to resolve before your flow would be ready for activation. So you can see those errors here. You can also see best practices and tips under this warnings panel, but for now I'm going to dismiss that. You can always get back to it here at the top. And now I'm going to add some logic here to my flow. So right now it's just kind of a simple send talking about my product launch. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a wait period here. Actually, I added the wrong one. Excuse me. I'm going to add a wait until time. And I'm going to wait for a day.
The good news is you can wait for minutes now as well using this.
Yes,
so
yes.
for those of everyone who's desperately waiting, this is exciting.
Yep, we got minutes available as well. And then after that, I'm just going to quickly show you what a path experiment could look like. So here you can label your path experiment. And again, this can be used for a lot of different testing. In this instance, let's just say we want to test SMS versus email. And you can add your different path labels. So here, I'm just going to name this one email. And you can set the percentage of people that you want to go down that particular path. So it'll randomly assign individuals to enter the flow. But let's say I'm a little more confident in email. Maybe SMS is a new channel for me. So let's say I'll do 60% here. And then for this path, I'm going to name this SMS. It's telling me right now that my numbers don't match. And let's say I want 40% to go down this path. You can go ahead and split it that way. And again, that way you can really test out which channels are more effective for you, and you can optimize that flow over time. So after that, I'll just add an SMS element here. I'll add an email element here. And we can come back to finishing that flow. I know we have just a couple of minutes. I was going to just quickly touch on a new event trigger that we also have, just to highlight some use cases we have there. So let me go here. I'm going to just create a new campaign. And I'm going to call this one subscription event. Save that. And you'll notice when you go into this experience, oh, look, a nice announcement about Agentforce. When you go into this experience in Marketing Cloud Growth or Advanced, you have several different campaign template options to select from. And currently we've offered just segment triggered and form triggered. Now there's this new event trigger type as well. And with this, you can configure the event that you want as the entry source for your flow, for people to enter that flow directly from the campaign record. So I'm going to click configure event. And this will again take me into that flow builder experience. And I just wanted to touch on a couple of the options that we have here. So when you go in to select your event, we have 4 out of the box options. We have an email subscription event, a form submission for our joint commerce customers. We also have a order placement as an entry source, and then an SMS subscription event. So over time, we're going to be adding more use cases here and allowing custom events as well, safe harbor, but really excited for this addition. Also, just as a last thing, we are also really excited to provide that conversational SMS experience. So I'm just going to show you quickly a flow that has built in, so you can see what a joint flow between marketing and service could look like. So for the purpose of this flow, marketing really wants to drive signups for SMS. So they send an initial message asking people if they want to subscribe. There's a wait event. And then what you can do is add a couple different paths, and you can alter your follow-up based on what that keyword response was when they initially replied. So if somebody says confirmed, perfect, that's what marketing wanted them to do. We'll send them a confirmation email saying you're now subscribed. But maybe they replied not confirmed, and we need to assist them in some other way. So in this instance, we've already set up some omni-channel routing through digital engagement. So we can forward them to a chat bot or even a live agent to get some assistance. And same if we get some sort of unknown response. So again, it's the same brand engaging in the same text thread, and it really just provides a more cohesive experience. I know we're over time. Lastly, I just wanted to point out that we do have some nice out-of-the-box dashboards that we have added in this release. Really nice enhancements. I don't know why I have to refresh on this page. But you'll get some really nice engagement dashboards for forms, landing pages, email, and SMS in that experience as well. Let me see if I can get it to load now. All right, so let's take a look at maybe SMS engagement dashboard. You can load that up here, and we can see all my top level metrics for SMS. You can also look at your trends over time. So you can, at a glance, just get a really good sense of how this channel is performing for you. All right, so that was my really brief overview demo.
Super exciting. And I think for everyone that's on the call, just a great taster and teaser for what's coming. I think if I quickly sum up what's the next steps, Data Cloud, Data Cloud, Data Cloud, because if you want to see any of the features that you saw today, you cannot do it without Data Cloud. So my encouragement is, you saw Robert said they have packages now for simple Data Cloud setup. I would still be very involved as the marketer in that Data Cloud implementation, because we want to make sure that when you are putting those segments, that you trust the data that's gone in, that you trust the segments that's coming out. I think there'll be nothing more frustrating for you as marketers if you see a segment and you don't trust what's there. You won't have the ability as you used to have to go and manipulate things manually, and so you need to understand that you trust the Data Cloud setup. And then the next thing is, I'd like to do a session probably in the new year, or we can maybe chat about it end of November if people have still got appetite. I want to get a Data Cloud and account engagement session done where we can help you understand getting those principles together. So I've already had Vlad, who's on the call, been chatting on the background, and Vlad's put his hand to join and help us with that. So yeah, we'll put something together and put some messages out, and then we can do another session. So everyone, thank you so much for your time today. I know people have had to drop off, meetings have started. Robert, Rena, Ruth, I'm so appreciative of you. I'm so sorry we couldn't record because of my departure from Monks and all of that mess up, but what you gave us today was amazing. So thank you very, very much.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity.
Happy to join.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
everyone.
and we hope to have you again in a couple months' time when we've actually got our hands on these things. Yeah,
Indeed.
cool. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody.
You
Bye.
too.
Bye.